What's up, guys? This is Kitty's Riftbound, continuing our limited draft sealed pre-rift set review, whatever you want to call it. And now we're going to go over green cards. And the first card we're going over is Sona Harmonious. She's like Kaisa. She's in that alt art slot. You will see her occasionally, not super often or anything, but it will come up, so we will grade it. And I will put Sona in the good card category. Um, She's like almost good with synergy. It's just kind of hard for me to imagine a deck where you don't have synergy. I guess I'll put her in good with synergy because you do need combat tricks or various things to play on your opponent's turn to take advantage of readying the four friendly runes. Um, but like I said, it's pretty easy to take advantage of that generally. But we'll put it in good with synergy just to be fair. Um, you know, it's been hard to find good with synergy cards. All right, green cards. Affectionate Poro. When a combat that I was in ends, if I haven't been dealt damage this turn, draw one. Um, this is an interesting card. I'm going to put it in playable. I believe that in some scenarios you will draw off this. Just because you're gonna send things in, it's gonna be awkward for your opponent because they're gonna be like, "Oh, I want to kill the big thing. This isn't really worth killing." Though they can always just assign one damage. So actually, I'm gonna revise this. This goes into if you're desperate. If you have no better 3 drops, you play this one. We're gonna do the thing where we just basically this line of text probably doesn't exist, for all intents and purposes. Um, Esteemed Hierophant. 5 for 5 when you control 7 or more runes, prevent all damage that enemy spells and abilities would deal for me. Um, if this was untargetable, like if this was like the camel above 7, it would be really good. As it is now, I'm going to put this, if I can find it, as, where is this thing? Am I missing it? Oh no, here it is. I'm going to put it in if you're desperate. This is basically a vanilla 5 drop. You can play it, but most things are going to be better. When you play me, give a unit +3 this turn. This card is, I'm going to say this card is playable. I mean, this is actually, it's pretty good. I'm having a hard time evaluating because we haven't really seen a card quite like this in Riftbound that I can think of off the top of my head that kind of has like this enter one-time effect, so it's kind of hard for me to evaluate. And a lot of card games, like in Magic, this kind of effect usually feels all right. He's understated. It's hard to say. I'm gonna, as this is a common, I'm gonna put this at playable, but I don't know. It might be a desperate. I'm not sure. Giving something +3 is usually pretty relevant. Sometimes you're gonna be able to punish your opponent if they feel good about their turn to conquer and just go for it, and then you play this, and I don't know. It's on the borderline of playable. And hammer 2 and equip for green, and I have +2 while I'm at a battlefield with exactly one other unit you control. I almost just immediately skip that because it just is so. I don't know. Maybe some of my friends are gonna disagree. This seems freaking bad though. Like, there's not enough gear synergy. I know there's Shin stuff going on and like having one other unit, but just I don't know. I'm gonna say do not. I have friends who I think are gonna disagree because it's pretty easy to just, as far as the one other unit on the battlefield goes, this is relatively easy to set up. So I don't like this card, but I'm gonna put it in if you're desperate because I feel like I have friends who are good at limited who are gonna be like, well, can gear ever really be truly terrible? And they're kind of right on that front. I mean, it can be, but like something that's decently statted. Anyways, Mournful Witness, 2 drop. When a combat, this is the Akali 2 drop. When a combat that I was in ends, empower me, empower I have +2. I'm gonna put this in good card. This is a good 2 drop. It's gonna be a regular 2 drop a lot of times. It makes your opponent think a little bit. If you can, do some things. This is a 4. I'd say it's good. It's good in the sense that like you always want to run like 2 to 4 2 drops. So, if you're in these colors, like, you're probably gonna run this one. Um, Old Poro, I can't be played on your first, second, or third turns. Um, uh, yeah, this goes in do not play. I mean, this is a card you don't really want to draw later in the game. You can't play it early in the game. Like, so when do you want to draw it? I don't know. It's a funny card though. I like it. Um, so there's a 2-drop that's not super playable. Serene Aesthetic. It's 3 for 3, Empower 3, gives it Deflect and Shield 3. This card seems pretty freaking good to me. Like, that's sinking. Like, basically, this is a 6 for 6 with a Deflect, but the cost is split across 2 turns. Obviously, it's 6 only on defense, but like, you don't have to invest it until you're already on the field. For example, like, this card kind of reminds me of the Trevor Snooze Bottom, which was the 3 for 3 from last set that had Shield 1 and also made Sprite tokens. Like, that card was even better, but this card's pretty good. This is a pretty good green card. I like it a lot at common. Twilight Shroud, give a friendly unit +1 this turn. It can be chosen by enemy spells and abilities this turn. So this card is tough for me. So on the one hand, giving a 1 for +1 is not very good, or +2 for 3 is a little bit better. So in that regard, it's playable. It can't be chosen by enemy spells and abilities this turn. I'm just not sure how relevant that's going to be in this set, especially since Twilight Shroud is slow speed, so you have to play it before combat. You can't just like hold it and react. So I'm going to put it in like playable or like big sideboard card energy if you're playing best of 3. It's hard to say. This card, similarly to the other Empower, I like this card somewhat. It's not as good though. The Empower cost is obviously like way higher. Like, I don't know if you can see both these on the screen. Yeah, you can. So the Serene Aesthetic, they're both 3 for 3s. One's Empowered is just much more achievable, obviously. Though, like, I guess in theory, Frostcoat Mother can become free. I think it depends on what kind of deck you're playing. If you're playing like a slow deck, I think we can put Frostcoat Mother in good with synergy in the sense that if your deck has the tools to go late and you're kind of value gaming. Then we have Pocket Protector. Pocket Protector is a 4 for 5, and when you move, reveal the top card of your main deck and draw it if it's a unit. Otherwise, you put it in your trash and give me +2 this turn. This card seems pretty good to me. It's kind of awkward because you can't like guarantee it being a 6 might most of the time, but like the fact that it's either a 6 or it just draws units into your hand and replaces itself, that's pretty good. And I would say this is one of the better uncommons in the set. Really haven't seen that many draw cards yet either, that I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah, I mean, definitely, if I can find this card, where is it? Pocket Protector, where art thou? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna say this card's good. This is a good card. I mean, it's a little understated, but it's just value. It's cat bonus. Resonating Strike, 2 recycle 1 with hidden. It also has reaction speed in general. So choose a battle field you control, and you control at different location. Move that unit to the battlefield and give it +2 this turn. This card is good. It's a combat trick. It's can definitely mess up your opponent. It's like a defensive only ride the wind that gives your guy +2. I think it's just good. Interaction is premium and limited, and this is good interaction. Sanction is a 3 recycle 1 reaction speed. Empower unit, disempower at the end of turn, and then disempower unit that's empowered, empower at the end of turn. This card's dead. It's not. I just think that's way too niche. Yeah, I can't even think about like what center. Maybe if you're playing like the 8 energy Nasus, which we'll get to in a second. Of like, even then, I don't know if you play this card. So yeah. Sandstone Chimera is an 8 for 7 recycle 2. And while I'm at a battlefield, players only channel 1 rune at the start of their channel phase. It's a pretty interesting card. It slows the game down a little bit. You can do something interesting where, like, if your opponent's aggressively recycling throughout the game or on a specific turn, and then like they go down like 3 runes or 2 runes, and they're kind of in a desperate place, and you just say, okay, well, I'm gonna go to other battlefield. I'll play the Sandstone Chimera. I'm way up on runes, and we'll play the rest of this game slow. But at the end of the day, it's just a big body. And in that sense, it's a really big body, but it is very expensive. So I'm gonna put it in playable. I don't know. It just depends on how your pool comes out, because sometimes you just need an 8 drop, you know. And I don't know. This card's not bad. It's big. It's not like I don't know. It's expensive. We've covered this. Tomb Raider Barbara is a 4 for 4, and when you play me, if you control 7 or more runes, choose an enemy gear. If it's empowered, disempower. Otherwise, kill it. This is if you're desperate card, in the sense that it is effectively a vanilla 4 drop, even if it is Tomb Raider Barbara and she's awesome. So then we have Akali, 4 cycle 1. I can't be chosen by enemy spells and abilities unless I'm in combat. When I move to battlefield, give me +2 this turn. I would say this card is like it's just a must play. Like, this is a 6 for 4 with like hexproof in a lot of situations. I guess I think this card's maybe must play is a little too high. If this card didn't have recycle, it would be like really insane. Obviously, it does have recycle, which makes it slightly less. I don't know. It's very impactful. If you have the Akali Legend, it's obviously very, very strong. It just depends on your deck on whether this is a good card or a must-play card. It's pretty close, though, so I'll put it in must-play. So, Crumbling Sands. As a reaction, counter a spell if an opponent has played another spell this turn. I'm going to put this in, do not play this in your limited deck unless you are sideboarding and you know your opponent's doing something specifically around casting multiple spells. Even if this works once, it's never going to work again because your opponent's never going to cast their less important spell second. So, I don't know. Then we have Decree of Focus, same deal. Choose a friendly unit that's in combat with an enemy Fury unit and give it +4, or if it's being chosen by a Fury spell. It's a cool card. Again, you don't play it in limited unless you're playing best of 3 with sideboards. Riven. 3 recycle 1 weapon master. When I attack, choose an enemy unit here. Deal 2 to it for each equipment attached to me. I'm gonna put this in. I don't think this card is good. I want to be straight up for limited, because there's just not enough weapons. Certainly not enough. Like, there's no turn 1 weapons. You can just play and then curve into this recycle. I mean, realistically, like, this is like a chosen champion if you're desperate. That's the honest answer. So that's what I'll put it in. But I'm just a Riven simp. So, Shin. It's a 6 for 5 in recycle. When I hold, if there's exactly one other unit you control here, draw 1. This is like at the very top of playable. Again, it's another card where like text might as well not exist. But this is an overstated unit. On the turn you can play it. Maybe once in a blue moon, you'll get to draw an extra card. But 6 for 5, not bad. I mean, it's playable. Steel Paws. So this is a 1 drop with deflect and empower 7 to make it a 7 drop with deflect. So you're kind of paying like 8 over time. But the nice thing about this steel polish is like you can kind of thread this in the early turns. Uh, I'm gonna say this is a good card. You probably want to play it most of the time because it is that 2-drop that lets you do early stuff while transitioning into a late game thing that is quite threatening. So yeah, Astral Heron. When you play your first card each turn, if I'm at a battlefield, your next card costs 2 and 2 recycle less. I'm gonna say this is a good card. Not because again, this line of text is not that relevant, but what we see a lot of is that you see a lot of 6 for 6s, and then things that are bigger than 6 are a little bit less common. And occasionally you're gonna be able to get this passive to go off. So it's a decent card. Helm of Suppression. This card is a funny stacks piece. It's gonna be funny and constructed maybe, but in limited, I'll beat you up if I see you playing this card. I will literally fight you. Then we have Nasus, 8 recycle green for 8, deflect 2, empower 8, and when I conquer, you score 1 point. So he scores 2 instead of 1. I mean, I guess this is a good card because it's a big ass chosen champion that usually you want your chosen champion to be. I mean, it's just a threat. Sometimes threats are good. This guy is like, he's like borderline playable. Recycle when you get to 8 mana, if you have to recycle 1, like you really don't care that much about it at that stage of the game because you're usually gonna have the mana flexibility to do whatever you want anyways. And then I believe is one more card that we have to go over, and the alts are the overnumbers. Yeah, so we did, yeah, Shin Riven, done. And then, but there is Irelia. And Irelia is, it's a must play card, I think. There aren't that many ways to choose it in this set, but it's a 5 for 5 with deflect, like most of the time. I mean, maybe it's not a must play. Like these aren't like busted. Like they're not gonna. Neither of these cards are gonna make like what are the best limited bombs of the whole set. I'm not sure any green cards are really looking at it. Like maybe these Herons, maybe the Irelia. Maybe it depends on your list. But yeah. So I hope y'all enjoyed this review of green over here, and you join me in the next one. Leave a like and subscribe if you feel like this, I don't know, taught you anything. If you anything you didn't think about, and feel free to tell me if there's anything I didn't think about. Peace.